Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Adobe Scripting QuickTip tutorial. In this one, I'm going to be making a ListView filter where you have a ListView set up inside of your script and you're able to type in things to filter by whatever you type in. This was recommended by Adobe Magi in our Discord, so make sure you join us in our Discord where you can suggest ideas for future tutorials like this. Before we get started, I do want to remind you down below, hit subscribe and the bell icon to be notified of new videos coming out twice weekly in the channel, and down in the description you can check out the code for this in the GitHub link. Also follow us there for coding updates, and in the description follow us on Instagram for other live updates. If you're not already a member of our Discord server, you can come and join and get help with scripting, extensions, plugins, expressions, submit tutorial ideas like today's, and much more. And if you'd like to help support us on YouTube and get cool perks like Discord status, code a week in advance, badges, and much more, you can become a member, supporter, premium supporter, or VIP, link in the description. All right, so we're just gonna start this up from scratch. It's a pretty simple script that we can code from scratch. We're just gonna have a new JavaScript React file, or JSX, and we're going to recreate this simple UI. We're gonna start off with a window. We're gonna define a new window of type palette. We'll call this our ListView filter, undefined dimensions. Then we'll take our window and we'll set the orientation equal to a column. That way everything goes from top to bottom. Then we simply need to create this edit text box here and this list box with all these items. So we're going to create an element called search box. I'll set this equal to my window. We're going to add, not an event listener, we're going to add an edit text, undefined size, and empty text. I'm going to set the size of our search box to be maybe 100 pixels wide. So we'll say search box.size is equal to 100 by 25. Now let's go ahead and just grab our window and center it. And we'll grab our window and show it. Now if we go ahead and run this in After Effects, you can see we have our basic search box here. Now let's create our list box. We'll say var list box is equal to our window. We're going to add a list box, undefined size, and we need to give it some items to display. Let's go ahead and just create an array called default items. This will come in handy later. We're going to fill this with some just random stuff like title, subtitle, document, footer, conclusion. Just a bunch of words that we can later filter and mess around with. So I'll take these default items and apply them as the third argument for our list box. This will give it an array of all these items and make each item in this array an individual item we can click on. Then I'm going to grab my list box, set the selection equal to 0 by default, so it selects the first item. And if we were to run this, you can see we now have our list box as well. This size needs to be increased, so I'll say size is equal to 100 by however tall this might be, maybe 150, 160. That might be a little bit tall, but you can add more items if you wish. Now what we need to do is create a filter option. Whenever we type something into here, we need to compare the text inside of this search box to all of the items in here. If one of the items in here contains some of the text, like title is contained in title and subtitle, we want to keep those elements but remove everything else. Then if they reset it to have nothing in the search box, we want to reload our default items. So the way we're going to do this is by grabbing our search box and we're going to say on changing. This is going to detect any time the stuff inside of it changes. We'll set this equal to an anonymous function, and inside of here, let's go ahead and have a check for the search box text. We'll say if search box.text is equal to empty, then we'll do something. Otherwise, we need to filter. So it's empty, or we need to search this term. Now, the way we're going to do things is have two separate operations for when it's empty and when it has stuff. When it's empty, we need to refill it with our default items. But first, we should remove everything within it. So what I'll do is say, if it's empty, we're going to take our list box dot remove all. Now, if I was to just run this and then change it to nothing, you can see it removes everything. Now that it's removed everything, we need to fill up our list. So we're going to say for var I is equal to 0. We're going to loop through our default items dot length increment I by 1. Then for each iteration, we're going to grab our list box and we're going to add something. The first argument is what we're going to add, a new item. And then the second is the text of that item, which in this case is going to be our default items, I. This is simply going to remove all the items if it's empty and then refill it with something useful. Now let's go ahead and program what we need to do to filter it ourselves. The first thing we're going to do is remove all the elements just like we did here. So in fact, we can optimize this by only having one remove all at the very beginning. And after we remove everything, we now need to filter. We're going to loop through our default items again. And this time, we only want to add the default item if it contains our search box.text. The way we're going to check this is with a simple if statement. We'll go ahead and surround our add list box thing here with our if statement. And we're going to say if default items I dot index of our search box.text does not equal -1. If that's the case, then it contains what's in our search box. What it's saying is check the current default item. Let's say we're looking at subtitle. If I have the text title in here, it's going to detect that the index of the search box.text is an actual index, which means it exists. Now, we don't want to just say search this search box text. What if they said title? This is case sensitive now. So what we want to do is take our default items and say .to lowercase. What I like to do is either convert it to capital or lowercase and then compare it. So I'll convert my default items I to lowercase and my search box.text to lowercase as well. Now let's go ahead and run this. I'm getting an error on line 6. Let's see here. Can't appear on the left-hand side of an assignment because it's read only. Oh, I have a typo here. I need to say does not equal -1. Now let's go ahead and run this. So you can see we have our simple setup here. Let's go ahead and search for foot. And as you can see, we have footer up here. We can go back to nothing and have everything reload. We could say conc, conclusion, or we could say title. As you can see, it's all in caps, but it recognizes that there's no case sensitivity here. Of course, you could remove this case sensitivity and have it more specific, but that's how you can filter out things in a list box. And this will also apply to things like a drop-down list, which use the same remove all and add functions. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. Down below, hit subscribe and the bell icon to be notified of new videos coming out twice weekly in the channel. And down in the description, you can check out the code for this in the GitHub link. Make sure you follow us there for coding updates, and in the description, follow us on Instagram for other live updates. If you're not already a member of the Discord server, make sure you come and join and get help with scripting, extensions, plugins, expressions, submit tutorial ideas like Adobe Magi did today, and much more. And if you'd like to help support the YouTube channel and get cool perks, you can become a member, supporter, premium supporter, or VIP. This comes with cool perks like code in advance, weekly live streams, which we have a lot of fun in, and much more. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.